Hey, how you doing? As you could tell from the title, we'll be going over some more scams that prove how much we've regressed as a species. While I was doing my research for this video, there was one particular type of scam that stood out among the rest, and that is crypto. It gained much steam in recent years because it's super easy to set up, and even more easy to make money from because so many people have this strange tendency to fall for them time and time again. Throughout this video, I'm going to be talking a lot about crypto, so it's important that we know some basic terms like rug pull and pump and dump. A rug pull is a cryptocurrency investment scam where the creators or developers of a cryptocurrency project suddenly abandon it, taking all the funds invested by the users with them. And pump and dump is a form of securities fraud that involves artificially inflating the price of an owned stock through misleading positive statements, aka pump, in order to sell the cheaply purchased stock at a higher price, aka dump. With that out of the way, let's get to it. Using the same rules as the last video, we're rating the stupidity of each scam as well as the stupidity of the victims that should have known better. Both out of 10 of course. And side quest, take a shot every time I say the word crypto. The Tuah Rug Pull. Now I'm sure you'll remember this fine specimen, Haley Welch. She became a meme not too long ago.
What's one move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time?
Oh, you gotta give him that huck to and spit on that thing, you get me?
I find it fascinating that millions of people can be stuck working 2 or 3 dead-end jobs while some rando can make a cringe joke about all one day and become super famous the very next, while making hundreds of thousands of dollars at the minimum. It's crazy. She even started a podcast that was climbing the charts at one point. Top tier podcast, by the way, I highly recommend. This small team of crypto bros approached her and pitched this idea for a meme coin with her name and face attached to it, and she bought in. They launched it on pump.fun shortly after. And yes, people did ironically fall for this. Flies will always be attracted to bright lights apparently. Clueless bozos out here dumping their cash into Tuah meme coin, thinking that's a worthwhile investment. The coin got rugged 2 hours after its launch, and all the goons who put money into this deep fake lost it all, as you could imagine. Copyzilla went on the case and confronted the team on one of their live streams. The whole team was deflecting every question thrown at them and flat out denying that the coin was indeed a scam. They also muted Copyzilla within minutes of him talking to them like the right snowflakes they are, but continued yapping in circles as if they were still arguing with him. So I couldn't find the exact numbers, but this whole stunt is speculated to have made somewhere over $1 million, which was split 50-50 between Welch's and the rest of the team. But then there was this one leaked episode from her podcast in which she made herself look like an utter clown, calling Copyzilla a scary goth.
Scary guy, let me tell you. Don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
Which, when translated from Tuah to English, means I'm scared of accountability. She also said that she put money into her charity. I'm sure you can read between the lines and guess what that translates to. As it stands now, Showgirl went from being unknown to dreaded to downright despised, all in a matter of months. And her cringe comeback attempt on Instagram proves the latter. If you scroll through it, you'll find that pretty much every comment is slamming her on the entire scam. While it is true that she technically didn't know what she was getting into with the crypto bros, she still should have been smart enough to do her own research and especially take accountability for the damages that ensued on her part. She did none of the above, and now everyone is spitting on her. Stupidity of scam, 4 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, 10 out of 10. Quant Kid. Now this next one involves a team of a 13-year-old and an oddly familiar cabbage cut. This kid started a meme coin, also on pump.fun, called Gen Z Quant, and you know the drill. People bought it, dragging its value up. Then he pulled the rug when he felt the value was high enough, easily earning a generous 30 grand.
Oh, holy fuck! Holy fuck!
You full clip.
Holy fuck, thanks for the 20 bandos.
Then a huge rush of dopamine kicked in, and he launched 2 new coins. One of them was named Sorry, a name which I'm guessing is purely satirical, rugged it and profited, the same song and dance. The other coin was named Lucy, which he named after his dog, rugged again, profited, hurrah. He made 20 racks from each coin, all summing up to 50 racks in total. Damn, this kid is doing better than most of us as a 7th grader. But imagine being one of those goobers who bought any of these coins. Freaking grown-ass adults with full-time jobs losing chunks of their hard-earned cash to some whippersnapper fresh out the womb on a site called pump.fun. How do you live with yourself? You got fooled not once, not twice, but 3 times. And by a toddler of all beings. You turned him into a baller. Now these buffoons got so salty, they ramped up their Gen Z Quant purchases to drive up his value exponentially, as a petty attempt at getting back at him by making it seem like he could have gotten millions of dollars if he waited a little bit longer. Except he wouldn't have made that much, because if he never pulled the rug, they wouldn't have spammed the purchase button in the first place. But I really don't like how they dox his name, address, and school though. That's really bad. You shouldn't do that. Honestly, this kind of pettiness makes them look like the toddlers. But perhaps the bigger reason they spam bought this dead-ass coin is because they lost their money, so they decided to pump it themselves to try and attract new investors so they could pull out, pause, and retrieve what was lost at least somewhat. This whole situation is a cesspool of degeneracy from all parties, but I'm sure if the kid offered the meatheads a fourth coin, they'll probably forgive him and get scammed all over again. Stupidity of scams, 0 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, 10 out of 10. Dumb fuck. Jack Doherty's antics. Now, if you're well versed in the lore of this geezer, you know it's safe to assume he has no redeeming qualities whatsoever. But I've heard his career is basically dying now, especially since he's been banned on most things. The cracks began to show when he got banned from Kick for totaling his McLaren a few months ago. He was scrolling through his chat while driving.
Show us the road at least. They try to paint the road every now and then, yeah.
A few moments later.
Oh! Oh! No! No! No!
In this footage, his camera guy is clearly bleeding everywhere, but he doesn't give. He's just like, here, start filming. Oh no, guys! My McLaren! I'm not even making fun, he actually does that.
My car is total, bro. Oh my god, this is cooked.
Out of desperation, he goes on to scam the remains of his audience during a live stream on Party. He launched the McLaren meme coin because of the incident, and rugged it 17 minutes later. Then on a Twitter stream, he does a second pump and dump with a coin called Hated. Get it? Because people hate him? That's the most amount of self-awareness you'll ever see from Broccoli Head. Of course, the idiots who got rugged twice were very angry and drove the price of Hated through the roof. You know, the same drill from chapter 2? How are they also brain dead? Like, these people are programmed to fall for the exact same scam over and over again. When will you learn? There's literally nothing to gain from this. It's literally by design, you lose. There are only two beneficiaries in this situation, the person or team who started the coin in the first place, and Pump.Fun. If you actually bought Jack Doherty meme coins, you more than deserve your karma. Pump.Fun is making over 20 million a month off of Darwinist masochists like you. But go ahead, keep playing. Who am I to tell you what you can and can't do with your money? Stupidity of scams, 3.5 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, well, you already know. At least on the opposite end, Jack revealed that he ran out of OnlyFans girls to pimp and now only makes 10% of what he used to. So a bit of good news to keep us sane. The honey trap. This next one is not a crypto scam. Hallelujah, praise the Lord. But it's a scam. And it's likely the most diabolical one yet. Now I'm sure most of you already know this story by now. YouTuber Megalag did a multi-year investigation into the whole thing and put out a 23-minute video exposing it all. So massive shout out to him on this one. But even if you heard, here's a refresher. Honey is, or was, a free browser extension developed by Honey Science Corporation, an American technology company and subsidiary of PayPal. The branding behind it was that once you installed Honey, it will find the best coupons for you whenever you go shopping online, making it super convenient because you won't have to go looking for the coupons yourself. Or so we thought. With this campaign, they successfully got thousands of creators, including the big ones on board, to promote the snake oil. And almost every creator didn't realize what was going on behind the scenes. Now with Honey downloaded, you go to a store and add something to the cart. When you go to the checkout, an obnoxious dancing coin shows up and tells you it found X amount of coupons. But when you click, it says, whoops, sorry sport. Looks like none of these work. This is the best we can do. I swear. Then you complete the purchase without any reduction. And the rare times a coupon did work, it only reduced your fee by 5% the most. Nope, not suspicious at all. But there was questionable stuff going on with the affiliate links as well. You know, the thing that the buyer clicks on and the creator gets a portion of the earnings once a purchase is made. After it's clicked, a tracking tab with the channel's name will be placed in the URL to let the site know who's owed the commission. The tab is also saved on the user's browser as a cookie with a set expiration date, ensuring the creator still gets paid if the purchase was completed within that time frame. But when Honey pops up and you click Apply Discounts, the cookie would get replaced in real time with Honey's own cookie, ensuring they get the commission instead. Yikes. Also, to ensure this fib was foolproof, a small new tab would open to act like a referral link, as if it referred you to the website. Then it would disappear once PayPal's affiliate cookie was processed. And I like the analogy that Megalag used to give an example of how this would play out in real life. You're at a department store looking for a TV, the salesman runs you through the options, you decide, he gives you his referral card, and then you go over to the checkout, but just as you're about to purchase, a sleazy salesman spawns on the map, says, "Whoa, slow down there, squat, let me check if I have any coupons for you." He snatches the referral card under your nose, looks for coupons, says, "Sorry, got nothing," better luck next time, and hands over his referral card instead of the original, committing straight up plagiarism. That way he gets the commission, not the person who actually helps you out. But what was going down on the internet was even worse. Even if Honey had 0 coupons to offer, it would still pop up just so you could click it off. The reason for this is because they were exploiting a system called last click attribution, in which the link that gets the last click will get the reward. There are other systems like first click attribution, which goes the other way around, and dynamic click, which splits the pay between 2 or more parties, depending on how many you clicked on before you made the purchase. Last click is most widely used because it's the easiest to implement. At the start of his investigation, Megalag asked Honey directly if they were ripping people off.
Following. If Honey is activated and is the last program used while shopping on a site, it is likely Honey will receive credit for the purchase.
And they basically said yes. But there was this additional onion layer, Honey Gold or PayPal Rewards, which when activated, pops up when you go to the checkout and asks you to click Activate Rewards so they can claim the commission obviously, and they'll promise they'll share some of that money with you in the form of points. Megalag tested Gold by signing up for NordVPN's affiliate program, which offers a 40% commission. He made 2 purchases of the same product, but one with Honey Gold activated. As you could guess, that was the one that Honey swiped his commission from. And of that stolen money, Megalag was rewarded 89 points, or in English terms, 89 cents. In short, he got rewarded 89 cents from the $35.60 that they took from him for doing absolutely nothing. Wow. Even if there was no coupon codes or gold to offer, that stupid dancing coin will still show up. You click it off, they swipe the sale, I'm sure you get it by now. Even if you're checking out with PayPal, the same brand that owns Honey, it will pop up requesting you to check out with PayPal. Like, are you serious right now? The link is right there, we're not blind. And of course, you click, PayPal takes the sale from itself. Okay. Now, it turned out that Linus Tech Tips found out about this whole mess years prior. One of the employees mentioned in a forum in 2022 that because of this, they ended the partnership that was begun all the way back in 2017. So it took them 4 to 5 years to realize what was going on, which is honestly really impressive since they're a tech-focused channel with a large team. But probably less impressive when you find out that after cutting ties with PayPal, they entered another partnership with another coupon sponsor, Karma, that does the exact same thing that Honey does. In other words, they left one abusive relationship for another. Frickin' masochists. And what a shame it is that LMG weren't more public with their findings. They could have saved years of potential damage done across the entire platform. Don't know what was going on there. Now remember when I said that PayPal only found coupon codes that offered 5% discounts at max, if any at all? Well, if you were to search manually, you'll find codes with much larger discounts, but if you tried submitting them, Honey would not accept them. This is because partnering stores were given full control over which coupons, if any at all, would go live on the Honey platform. And this is where the not finding any coupon codes with the occasional 5% garbage came from. All of these brands working with Honey didn't want the more valuable codes to be shared, so Honey didn't. And I doubt it was a coincidence that all the stores that were accepted as partners were just as greedy as PayPal themselves. They were all probably handpicked for all we know, but it gets worse. There were an additional set of victims exploited by this next part of the scam, where in a few rare moments, the extension worked seemingly as advertised. Deals were found and accepted that were so immaculate, it raised even more suspicions. As of now, Megalag's working on a part 2 to address the next set of victims, and he shows a teaser with a few of the interviews gathered. So yeah, this situation goes even deeper than what was brought to light so far. Legal Eagle, a YouTuber/attorney, even announced that he's suing the company for wire fraud. But there aren't any new updates on the case as I'm recording this. Which kind of makes sense because there's likely a huge wall of legal protections waiting at the boss level. Quite the law it is though. A name so sweet left such a bitter taste in everyone's mouths. Crazy work. Stupidity of scam, negative 10 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, not applicable. Genius. Pure evil genius. Not to mention the fact that they sponsored over 5,000 videos across at least 1,000 different YouTube channels, amassing over 7.8 billion views. That means they likely have acquired hundreds of millions of dollars. Don't get me wrong, these people really suck, and they're definitely going to hell when they die. But credit where credit's due. That was GG well played. Just imagine if they used their talents for good instead of evil. The world would be a slightly less shitty place. The Hubless E-Bike. Now this next one isn't as mastermind, but it still got the job done. How many of you recognize this masterful work of art from the next century? It's an e-bike from Revo, an old Indiegogo campaign from 2020. Can you believe this piece of junk raised over $6.5 million, but it's understandable, especially when you check out the S-tier marketing behind it.
If you could design your own e-bike, how would you do it? Would it be classy, sexy, or perhaps a bold new design that's elegant yet functional? Wonder no more. Introducing Revo, the Hubless E-Bike.
Yeah, they went in with full guns blazing. This is the kind of advertising that could sell practically anything. The sky's the limit. You could even make millions by collecting human feces and selling it in jars if the marketing is right. And that's not a joke. I'm being dead serious. TV star Stephanie Matto did something adjacent back in 2022. She was selling farts in jars, and her simp fans went full scavengers over them. She made over $200,000. You can't make this shit up. And what's crazier is if she was selling full-on shit samples, she definitely would have made a bigger bag. I mean, to be fair, that would have been more sustainable and less strenuous, since she almost died trying to fart too much, but I digress. Back to the topic at hand. Of the 2,700 people who ordered a Revo, only about 150 actually got one. YouTuber Bum Peak did a video on this disaster piece earlier this year, but how bad is it exactly? I'm going to rank this based on various criteria that make for a good e-bike. For each category, I'm going to play what the Avengers ad claims, then play the part of Bum Peak's video where he tests them to see if the claim holds up. I'll give Revo a check for every promise delivered on, and an X if not. First up, pedaling.
Feel the need for speed? Simply rev the throttle and watch the world slow down.
So right now the motor is not on, and with great difficulty I am pedaling it. Can you believe how loud it is?
Yikes. So due to the wheels being hubless, the bearing exists all around the wheel, causing more resistance, making this a real ball ache to pedal. It also makes it much louder, especially as you pick up speed. No amount of WD-40 is saving that. Does it pass? With flying colours. Next up, weight and handling.
Revo also rides and handles exceptionally well, thanks to a strong lightweight core.
That was a full-on emergency stop. I had both of my entire hands on the brake levers, gripping them as hard as I could, and it could barely stop the bike. That's really alarming. And given the weight of the bike and the airless tires and just all the sketchiness, it has no business going this fast with brakes like.
To anyone who actually got this and took it out on the road, I hope you're still alive to tell the tale. You get up to a certain speed, and the bike basically takes off with you. Like, you're no longer controlling the bike at that point, it's the bike controlling you. So, weight and handling? No. Finally, we have the pedal assist.
The patent-pending hubless wheels are crafted from aerospace-grade alloys and engineered for maximum durability.
Yeah, listen to that. It's like there's a jump in the wheel. It's done. It's garbage.
So the back wheel just gets messed up when going over the smallest bump known to mankind. And apparently the bike can ride itself.
This. Okay, so you're walking your bike and you kind of jog across the street a little bit. And it kicks in. And so you might say, Seth, just turn it off. I can't turn it off. I tried holding down the power button on the battery, everything. The only way to do that is to take the battery out, but I need the keys to take it out, and I don't have the keys.
I could easily imagine this thing gaining full consciousness and taking off once it gains momentum and getting a triple kill. This bike is like a crackhead. It's a danger to everyone around it, including itself. The verdict? Here's the final score. To its credit though, this project doesn't seem like it was initially meant to be a scam, and that the team actually tried to innovate in some way. But then they realized the project was going nowhere, so they just vanished, leaving their backers in the dark about the whole situation, while walking away with millions of unearned dollars in the process. That's the beauty of crowdfunding projects like this. There's a very high likelihood of it going to shit, but as long as you sound convincing enough when promoting it, you'll make a handsome profit no matter what happens.
And never lose.
Stupidity of scam, 0 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, 7.5 out of 10. A nationwide rug pull. We took a break from the crypto shenanigans, but now it's time to end off with one of the biggest rug pulls in history. Libra was a meme coin endorsed by the president of Argentina, Javier Milei. Here is his tweet supporting the coin. Long live freedom, damn it! He deleted the tweet when the coin crashed just hours after its launch. It was reported that over $100 million was lost. Honestly, this proneness to getting crypto scammed is like an airborne disease, because it's now managed to infect a whole country. If this was the Exodus, it would be one of the 10 plagues for sure. Nobody truly knows how much Millet knew about the project, or if he was even a beneficiary, but he's directly responsible for bamboozling the country at large. However, the real beneficiaries were found out, and one of them, Hayden Davis, was in this interview with CoffeeZilla shortly after the rug. There's this particular segment where they were talking about insiders, and his honesty left people flabbergasted. He straight up admitted to everything.
Insiders, which is what I always say about meme coins, is it disproportionately benefits insiders.
So I think too, like my honest opinion is like, I don't actually disagree, but I think like the vast majority of people betting on meme coins, right, especially at the beginning, and I think there's a separate conversation. Retail traders, like, that is the game for everyone. And people that get mad are the people that aren't insiders. That is what happens. That's all the bitching on socials is all the people that don't get into the deals. You'll never hear them bitch if they're in the deal. So it's like, what do you do then? You don't do anything. You don't launch the project. You're like, how do you make?
Does this guy even hear himself? That's like saying, I had a machete in my hand. What was I supposed to do? Not stab people with it? To think that one person can lack this much of a conscience is actually impressive. But this is probably how most scammers think, so it shouldn't be. But assuming the president wasn't one of these insiders, the fact that they somehow persuaded him, and by extension, the entire nation of Argentina, to throw their life savings away, now that's impressive. And the reason he felt so comfortable being so upfront and honest is because he knew he wouldn't get beaten across the head and taken away in handcuffs. The crypto space, for whatever reason, is a highly unregulated zone, so much so that even for the worst crypto scams, the perpetrators won't get punished. And even the fact that there are tens of thousands of cryptocurrencies in existence from around the world, what results is a huge melting pot of degeneracy that will continue to be nurtured and grow rapidly because people keep equating crypto with a casino where they think they have any chance of winning the jackpot. You have zero chances of winning in the crypto space if you're not an insider. It is ordained that the insiders get to eat the whole cake and lick the plate. As if gambling wasn't bad enough. You aren't tired of losing yet? You're not supposed to be getting into crypto, you're supposed to be getting into fucking rehab. You know what? I'm done here. Enjoy your freedom, suckers. Stupidity of scam, -2 out of 10. Stupidity of victims, 7 out of 10. So yeah, it's pretty clear this problem isn't going away anytime soon, especially this crypto story. But it doesn't have to happen to you, so don't be a hat and you'll be fine. Please give this video a like, subscribe, comment if you feel you need to, and I'll get back to you real soon. Until then, later.